Morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Spokane. We are grateful to welcome those of you here in person and those of you that are online. You're all valuable to us. We really couldn't do this without you, so we appreciate you a lot. As our mission statement says, there we go. All right, with gusto, here we go. We are a vibrant community growing through spiritual practice and love. I'm Jeff Hunter. I'll be your platform assistant this morning, and I'd like you to please take a moment, if you haven't already checked your cell phone, put it on silent for us. Thank you. What a glorious day. As always, we want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. Together we affirm there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good. This is Unity's foundation principle. One presence, one power, one life living through and as each one of us. We are grateful to have our new spiritual leader, Dennis Ashley, speaking today. If you're new, maybe he'll introduce it. He'll do a little bio when he comes up to speak. But he's not new. He's been around a long time, and actually he's as old as dust, basically. But you know, in a pinch, it always works, you know. Dennis will be speaking today of the I am of our being. Today's part one. Next week will be part two, Sunday, June 8th. So you'll want to be here for both of them. Our music today is provided by the one and only Brittany Hopkins. And we have our fabulous Scott Jameson with us. He wrote that and told me I had to say that. In a moment, our chaplain Gary will share a prayer, but first our song leaders will start us off with a community song. Okay. All right.
Put aside your cares of today and enter the quiet center of your soul. Let's start with a deep, healing breath. Inhale deeply and let the air out slowly with a quiet, relaxing sigh. And as you do, relax completely. Allow the chair to support your weight. Send your roots deep into Mother Earth. Straighten your spine and stretch it to the heavens. Let the energies of earth and heaven meet in your heart. Let that energy fill you, top to bottom, front to back, and side to side. God is peace, the peace of a clear blue alpine lake, the peace of the deep green woods, the peace of a night in the desert under the canopy of stars, the peace of a ship at anchor, the peace of a new dawning, dispelling the night's darkness, the peace that passes all understanding. I am that peace. I radiate that peace. It is through me that God's peace flows out into the world. And as it is true of me, it is true for all, for we are all one. We are all God's peace. As Jesus said, peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. From this place of deep peace, we feel God's great love for us and for the world. We recognize all the opportunities we have to be. Peace in a tumultuous world. We commit to being the peace the world needs. We are grateful for this peace, for the quiet it gives us to truly hear and understand today's message, and for the peace to contemplate its deepest meaning. We bless our speaker, our musicians, all the staff and volunteers that make this service and this center possible. We bless this center, our community, and the world. I release this prayer into God's tender care, knowing it is already done. I am grateful for this place of peace and for one another, and so it is.
Everyone's awake now.
When I was a girl each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest as he would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track. 'Cause everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come and say it's not a sacrament. I'll tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Indiana Jones's lesser-known brother, Unity Jones.
Always. My whole life, I've been introduced as Indiana Jones's brother. Everybody knows it's Unity Jones that counts. This is so hot. Everybody was asking me, do you have a hat? I said, oh yeah, I got a hat. And it's Patty's leather jacket. You know, Brent, I absolutely love that song. And one of the reasons that I love it is because whether you're into physics at a deep level or whether you're just into religion and spirituality, they all say the same thing. Somehow there was a beginning point. It all came from the same thing. I mean, do you believe in physics? You like the Big Bang Theory? Then the Big Bang Theory says there was this one drop of pure energy, and it exploded. It didn't explode with mountains and planets and seas and animals. It exploded with pure energy. And that energy became different things. So I mean, that's the Big Bang Theory in a nutshell. But you know what? Is there any difference between saying that or saying, you know, God said, hey, let it be. You know, and just brought things into reality. I love them both. And I think they complement one another. And it brings us down to some questions, I think. You know, I mean, why are we here? I've been coming to Unity since '79, and I think we're here for a couple of reasons. I think one, we want to know, are there some ideas that we could have that teaches us how to lead a little better life? So that's one reason we come. And I think, you know, we've got a lot of intellectually curious people too who say, all right, is there a God? And if there's a God, what's it like? And so what I wonder is, if there's a God, is it more a human force, kind of like a superhuman being that looks amazingly Northern European? Speaks English, by the way. Yeah, I mean, there's that one option, and there's another option, you know, that says, well, whatever God is, I think maybe it's just pure energy. Yeah, that's okay too. That's more of a Buddhist orientation that says, I don't really think there's a God as a being, but there are some energies, some forces that just can't be explained any other way. So, I mean, really, aren't we all searching for how do I lead a little bit better life? What's God like if there is a God? And I think with that, we become intrigued by what's the soul? I mean, is there a soul? What is it? How does it work? What happens? And I love that introspection that takes place for ourselves and for other people, trying to figure out what's the soul like, if there is one. I choose to think that there is. I choose to think that there's another level of consciousness. So, this week and next week, that's what we're going to pursue. I've called the title of this two-part talk, The I Am of Our Being. And so what's that mean? I think what it means is there's this I am portion. We've used those words for a long time. What's it mean? So let's explore it at a little deeper level. About 3,200 years ago, Moses was born as a Jew in Egypt. And kind of ups and downs of life, right? He's born as a Jew. That was a good thing as far as the family was concerned. Then it was the bad thing, which was, everybody under the age of 2 is sentenced to death. Then it was the good thing. Well, mom's going to save you, put you in a basket. And then there's the bad thing. That basket's on a river. We don't know where it goes. And then there's the good thing, right? The story says that he was rescued and grew up in the Pharaoh's court. And then there's the bad stuff, which is he kills an Egyptian overseer. And so then he has to escape. And what the story is that he escaped to the land of Midian. Midian is northwest Saudi Arabia today. So he went to Midian, he's there for 40 years, and then we know some of the rest of the story, right? After 40 years of herding sheep, one day he sees up on Mount Horeb, or sometimes it's called Mount Sinai, he sees what seems like a burning bush, and it doesn't seem to be going out. And so he climbs up there. Now, there's a couple things about this guy named Moses. First of all, when we take a look at Moses, he looks amazingly like Charlton Heston. There he is. Now, I've used that joke before, but I realized I can't use it anymore because I'm talking to Deanna, who was putting the slides together for me. And so she goes, I put this one, is it Charleston Heston? And then I thought, okay, I'm getting a little bit old. Okay, so I can't use that one anymore. So that's one thing that's intriguing about this guy named Moses. Here's the second thing that's intriguing about this guy named Moses. He goes up there, there's this burning bush, and then biblical scholars debated, was that supposed to be God, or was that supposed to be an angel? Who knows? Who cares? But he decides that it's the voice of God. And so as he's talking with us, when this voice from the bush says, I want you to go to Egypt. I want you to rescue the slaves, the Hebrew slaves, out of Egypt. And very understandably, Moses says, they'll think I'm crazy. I mean, they're not going to go with me. They're going to laugh at me. And that's the phrase he uses, they're going to laugh at me. What shall I tell them? Who shall I say told them to rescue them? And then he says some of the most idiosyncratic, most deeply involved words. I mean, ones that it's just confounded scholars and everyday people all their lives. What's God say? I am that I am. I am that I am. Matter of fact, and then in the Jewish language, it's Aya Asher Aya. I am that I am. Wow, what an intriguing phrase. I mean, like, what the heck does that mean? I am that I am. And he says, tell them I am that I am has sent you. And then sometimes that gets shortened to Yahweh. And Yahweh, which is the YHWH, it's called the unutterable. And it's called the unutterable for a couple of reasons. Number one, in the ancient Hebrew language, they didn't have any vowels. That's one reason. Second reason is that if you're Jewish, you're not supposed to utter the name of Yahweh. And the reason why is because it's not that it's a bad thing to utter the name of God. It's not that. It's that up until this point, the gods, different gods, had personal names. But the God that he was talking to through this burning bush instead was saying, no. My name is Yahweh, and it's unutterable because that's the way I originally introduced myself. And it doesn't get more personal than that. And so what he's saying is, when it doesn't get any more personal than that, the average person isn't supposed to say it. And I think it's true for another reason too, and that is just, if you and I are chatting, and I say God, that really cuts communication off. And the reason it cuts communication off, if we're talking theologically, if I just say God, then you go, oh, God, okay, I know what God is. You know, and we come up with two entirely different versions. One version is, well, God's very, gets even and is mean and makes sure that everybody burns in hell if they made even the slightest mistake. And this person over here is saying, well, when I say God, it's because God's so loving and forgiving and there doesn't come anybody more kind. Except if we both just say God, we leave with this terrible communication problem, thinking we both meant the same thing. But if I can't say the word God, if I can't say Yahweh, then what I have to do is describe what I'm talking about. Well, when I say the thing that I can't say, I'm talking about this force that's for good. That there's only one force and one power, one Yahweh in the universe. And so he said, it's good and it's omnipotent. And the other person has to say, well, no, I think the God that I'm talking about is much different than that. The God I'm talking about is more vengeful and keeps score. And any mistakes you make, it goes down, and you don't ever get to change that. So it's a lot of wisdom to say, I'm not supposed to utter the name of Yahweh. Instead, I have to tell you what I'm talking about. Isn't that cool? I mean, that's really good. So let's get to that phrase and kind of the title of my talk. Well, what does that mean? I am that I am. And I mean, a lot of cool stuff goes into that. I'm going to suggest 3 or 4 things. Number one, I think when we say I am that I am, the first point it brings up is that God is self-existent. Okay, what's that mean? Well, if God is self-existent, it means God just exists by herself. That's the only God. There was nothing to start things. God is just self-existent. God existed just through himself or herself. And so what that says is this term that's sort of become popular over the last 10 years or so, first cause. And that says God is first cause. Everything else has a cause, right? I mean, it comes as a consequence of other actions, other situations that have taken place. But God is first cause, which means, self-existent. Nothing happened before. And again, that's whether you're saying God's a superhuman being or whether you're saying God is just a force of energy that goes through the universe. It's saying self-existence, that's the first one. And I love that phrase, first cause. Second thing it says, somewhere on my notes there. Aha! Second thing it says is that God is eternal. That whatever we mean by that, whether we mean the superhuman being or whether we mean the force of energy, God's eternal, which means whatever it is, it's not bound by space or time. Time is an irrelevant concept. When you take a look at the Higgs boson, which is some of the particles of energy that are found in the particle accelerators, and they've been able to track everything down about what's happening, what were the forces, except for the first 2 trillionths of a second. I mean, is that a small amount? Except, I think, in that first 2 trillionths of a second that they haven't been able to track down, who knows what laws of physics were in play? Yeah, I mean, who knows how the world worked? Nobody does. And so I think it makes sense that the second thing it means when we say, I am that I am, is that whatever God is, it is not bound by space or by time. And that goes right along with being self-existent, right? And then you get this third one, that God is an unchanging presence. Ooh, boy, a lot of denominations wouldn't like that one. Matter of fact, many of the denominations, including Unity, would say the Bible is the story of our unfolding consciousness about God. That we used to think in the Old Testament that he or she was more vengeful, and then we get to the New Testament, we find God is more loving. And what this third point would say is, God didn't change. Our understanding of God changed. So that's the third one. And so I think that looking at those things about the nature of God, the nature of I am, of our being, I think what that suggests is that if we want to understand what God is, I think I am that I am is very unity. I mean, and I like it for that reason, because what that's saying is that God is, and we used to say this more often, we've cut it down to one lately, but we used to say God is omnipresent and omnipotent and omniscient. And so what that meant was, omnipresent means God is everywhere, and omnipotent means God is all-powerful, and the third one, omniscient, means God is all-knowing. Now, we don't say it quite as often anymore, but I always liked it, because I liked looking at those three qualities. In unity, the words that follow I am, we think of them as extraordinarily powerful. Matter of fact, we think those words are so powerful, the unity movement often cautions people to be careful what you say after the words I am. And I mean, I don't know about you, for me, sometimes I make a mistake and I go, oh, I'm so stupid. I'm an idiot. I'm someone, I just don't learn from my mistakes. I am not very good with money. And if we said that once, no biggie. But when we start making that a pattern of words, when we start making that a pattern of how we think and feel and see, all of a sudden say, ooh, we need to stop that. We need to make the words that follow I am much more consciously positive. That I'm a soul searching for who and what I am. That I'm a seeker. That I'm someone who's going to keep seeking and keep knocking and keep trying to discover what it is that's going on in this world. So, we want to watch the words that follow I am. But now here's Moses encountering this bush that's saying, I am that I am. Well, the words that follow I am are very powerful, but what the heck does that mean? I am, what are you? I am, you are what? I am that I am. What? Yeah. And what that's saying is, I am there in my fullness. I am there completely and totally. And that's something that each of us are here to keep discovering, right? Who are we? What are our gifts? What do we do when we present ourselves and say, here I am, God? And if God spoke and said, here you are, what? Here I am that I am. Here is the truth of me. Here I am in my strength and the things that I haven't learned yet. And this is just who I am. I think that's what we're all after, is to be able to present ourselves fully to ourselves. To be able to present ourselves fully to each other. To be able to present ourselves fully in the quiet, in the middle of the night, to the Spirit of God that's deep within us. Just to be able to say those words. I think that the words that become really significant for me is this word fullness. The fullness of time. And the fullness of our personality. The fullness of our soul. The fullness of who and what we are. That's what counts. Now, one extra little, I mean, it's a piece of trivia, but it's also really significant. And that is, the ancient Hebrews didn't have any concept of future tense or past tense. So, if there's a being that says, I am that I am, that's how it gets translated. It could just as easily, there's no future tense, there's no past tense, right? It could just as easily be, I am what I will be. I will be what I am. I am what I was. I was what I will be. It's kind of like, okay, you're messing me up, man. Isn't that intriguing? That if there's that there's only the present tense, there's only the gift of fullness in time. There's only the gift of saying, yeah, this is who I am. This is what I believe. This is who I am. And so I am what I will be. I will be what I am right now, right now. And what I would say is it's the same for each and every one of us here. As we bring our gifts to the fore, as we lead with our gifts, as we come face to face with this deepest truth of who and what we are, how cool to be able to say, yes, I am that I am. Thanks. Namaste.
Meditation.
I was just kidding. I have meditation now. Let's take a few minutes in meditation. And as always, I invite you to put anything down that you might be holding. So I invite you to close your eyes. Let's just breathe. And if you're new to meditation, it's nothing more than turning inward and coming face to face with part of us that's pure and holy and sacred. So breathing in and breathing out. And as we breathe in, the very oxygen itself stirs within us. The very oxygen itself nudges our heart and nudges our lungs, inches closer and closer to our soul. So we breathe in, and that soul deep within us, it's this golden glow. And as we breathe, it gets bigger and bigger. And it is the golden glow that takes over our heart, and our chest, and moves upward towards our neck. This golden glow moves to our head, and it moves down too. This golden glow moves to our stomach, to our pelvic area, to our legs, to our knees, to our feet. And we realize that, oh, we are a soul. We are the I am of our being. And that golden glow, it expands, but it also enriches in depth. We are the glow of the soul. We are the glow of the I am of our being. Now let's take that into the silence for a moment. And let's just feel it and be with it and appreciate it in the silence. Spirit of God, I don't always understand my deepest nature. But when I move towards it, it brings the peace that passes all understanding. So we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Namaste.
Thank you, Dennis. That was beautiful. Scott, for your beautiful music. I'm Courtney Litwin. This is our time of sacred giving. And as you can see on your screen, there are many ways to give. You can offer, there's an offering that will be passed around, a basket, mail. You can give monthly through your bank. Send us a check. There's a QR code on there also. So you feel it in your heart, whatever you want to give, we will deeply appreciate it. Join me in our giving blessing. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. Home in our heart is right where we belong, and this community is in my heart, so I feel that. Thank you, Great Spirit, God, for these blessings, these gifts. May they bless this community and all who else who are touched by it when it goes out into the community. We are grateful. Amen.
Well, thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Gary. And in our AV booth, Julian and Tom, thank you. Let's give them all a hand. It was a wonderful service. All right, it's time for our unity statement. Together, unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there is only one power, one presence, and one life. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, I hope you know deep in your heart that you are welcome here. Absolutely everybody is welcome here. That's a basic tenet of unity. We accept everyone. So we're really glad that you're here. If you're a first-time guest, we have a packet of information for you, plus a coupon for a free drink at our barista stand, world-renowned barista stand, I should say. And so if you feel comfortable, and you don't have to raise your hand now, but you could see one of the ushers afterwards and get it. But we would like to welcome you if you're a first-time person. So if you're brave, raise your hand. We'll give you a round of applause. All right, welcome. Welcome. We have 2 board positions open, so if you really enjoyed the service today, sign up and be on the board. It's only 80 hours a week job, but no, I don't mean to scare you off. We're really happy that you're here. And we would like you to come back again next week and the week after and the week after. So we encourage everyone to sign up for our e-newsletter that comes out usually on Wednesday, almost always on Wednesday. And it is full of information, classes, everything that's going on here, events, everything. And it's just, you know, and we won't sell your email address to anybody. So, and you can find us at unityspokane.org if you're looking. And we'd also like to connect with you over social media, and you can see the apps up there. Our chaplain today is KP, who has been holding the service in prayer. She'll be available to pray with you up here in front right after the service. If you have something heavy on your heart, if you have a joy you want to share, Unity was based in prayer. We have a wonderful chaplains program here, and your prayers will be held in strictest confidence, prayed on here for 30 days, and also 30 days at Silent Unity. And we have prayer boxes, so in front of the seat pocket in front of you has a prayer request. If you want to fill that out and put it in the prayer box, we'd love that. Now, upcoming events. I'm Juliet today. I think I'm actually better looking, but anyway. That's for another day. All right. Okay, this is it. How many people were here last night? Raise your hand. We had a phenomenal concert last night. So, we want to thank the Unity Choir, the Treble Ensemble, and all of the guests. We had a woodwind quintet. We had soloists. It was heaven. It was one of the best concerts I've ever seen in this church. And you know who put it all together? Stand up. Our choir director, our music director. I'm telling you, she put hundreds of hours into it, plus 7 of the pieces that were performed last night, she wrote. That's a treasure sitting over there, let me tell you. We have new art from local artist Randy Budano in the lounge area by the store. Randy taught our last painting class and will be teaching another one in November. Check out his beautiful artwork after the service. And I imagine it's for purchase. Good. Okay, spend some money today. We have our Spokane Indians baseball game on Friday, June 20th. I'm sorry, go back, thanks. Nobody's perfect. Our next Wednesday night dinner is Wednesday, June 4th at 5:30. For June and July, we're moving these to Comstock Park near the bathrooms. Well, I'm not eating by the bathroom, I can tell you that. Join us there for a potluck dinner with a summer potluck theme. Bring yard games to play, chairs to sit in. Bring your friends, have fun. Hopefully it'll be gorgeous weather. We won't be in the bathroom. Well, I know you're not going to be in the bathroom. Yee. Our Spokane Indians baseball game is coming up on Friday, June 20th. It's fireworks night. I love fireworks. And the game starts at 7 p.m. Make sure you get your tickets so we can all sit together, as if we don't see enough of each other, you know. We have some wonderful antique books out by the fellowship hall on a table on the rolling carts. You can look at them, take them home, any books you would like for your own personal library. We don't want them back. You will recognize many authors ranging clear back into the 1800s. The library team thanks you for your support in helping to release these wonderful books. Now, here's the big announcement. You may know we are getting a new roof. You know, roofs are very symbolic. You know, the roof above our head is very symbolic. I'm very grateful for the roof above my head. And we're getting a new roof here, and I'm very grateful that we're getting a new roof. Roofs, Dennis or I could do a whole hour on roofs, but we won't. Although I might write something up. So starting tomorrow, June 2nd, we will have roofers here Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They will be staging on the north side of our building, off of 29, by the entrance to the kitchen and sanctuary. So that will not be available until further notice. No parking there. No parking there. Please watch for cones, signs, nails on the ground. Be prepared to use a different entry point than you are used to sometimes from now on through at least July. If you have questions, of course, talk to the all-seeing, all-knowing Deanna. All right, next Sunday, our speaker again is Dennis Ashley, and music is by Lauren Jameson Davis. All right, let's welcome our kids in. Hit it. What are they? All right. Budding artists. We are so blessed to have a wonderful Christian education program here. Fabulous volunteers. There's one. There's one. There's one. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. And kids, we are so happy that you are here today. I always say this is the building blocks of our church right there. So, wait. Today's birthday Sunday. If you have a birthday in June, please stand if you are able so that we can sing happy birthday to you. Goodies out there. All right. Let's bless our children. Here we go. Be the love you are. Sing the song you hear. Share your joy of life with people far and near. And for ourselves, be the love we are. sing the song we hear, share our joy of life with people far and near. All right, 5-year folks, flock, whatever flock you came with. There's one more announcement I have. I just wanted to tell you that today is June 1st, and it is the first day of Pride Month. So let's all keep that in our consciousness, all right? When we say all are welcome, we mean everybody. So happy Pride Month. All right. And now please stand as you are able and join together for our prayer of protection, followed by the peace song. Together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and that's the truth.